Mr. Speaker.
Reno Turakatni.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. He ngā mana whenua o Tamaki, nau mai hara mai ki te whare pāramata e takatū nei. Ki ngā rangatira huri no e te whare, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to rise and take a call at this first reading of this bill. I support this bill as, and following on from my colleague, the Honourable Shane Jones. This bill that represents the many hapu and iwi of the wider Tamaki Makaurau, each of whom have historical claims against the Crown. But because of the scale of the area under claim and the many hapu and iwi involved, it was thought best to deal with those things that all claimants had in common, had a common interest in. And in this instance, a deed has been entered into, and this bill gives effect to that deed that the Crown would vest ownership in 14 iconic maunga back to the collective, and there will be a co-governance arrangement with the Auckland City Council and the Department of Conservation. The new body, called Tupuna Maunga or Tamaki Makaurau. The Crown's going to contribute some pūtea to help set up with the costs of this co-governance group, and the Council will have day-to-day management of the long dormant cones on behalf of Aucklanders and New Zealanders. And there are certain sites that are exempt as well, which will continue to be managed under DOC. 4 islands are included in the redress, namely Rangitoto, Motu Tapu, Motuihe and Tiritiri Mātangi. The titles of these islands will be vested in the collective, who will then very graciously gift them back to the Crown. The summit of Rangitoto and 2 small waka landings will be retained by the collective. The deed of settlement also gives the collective the right of first refusal over certain RFR land for the next 171 years. So basically this means any land in Tamaki deemed that of those sites on RFR land must be offered back to the collective for the right of first refusal. And the best place to take in the site of all that land, Mr. Speaker, is the viewing platform of the Sky Tower. You could actually take it up another level, sir. The best place to view the Auckland Isthmus would be at the restaurant atop the Sky Tower, because it's this rotating wharekai in the sky that takes in the truly wonderful beauty of the Auckland Isthmus, known today as Tamaki Makaurau. And one can imagine, if we think back in the day, the many villages built upon the long dormant volcanoes, bush full of birds, and harbours and swamps full of fish and fowl. It was a utopian scene worthy of a Renaissance painting. And if I could encourage my friends across the house to visit the Sky Tower during the day, because you'll be able to see what I mean. And going at night will serve no purpose, because all you'll see are pretty lights. But that's basically the beauty of the Auckland Isthmus. And I'd like to take the time now to acknowledge my own connection, as I like to try and do in all of my speeches, to my Ngāti Rārua ancestor, Tūpāho, and his confederate and relation, Maki, who stopped by Maunga Kia, One Tree Hill for a while. And Hene Te Aho, who was from Maunga Kia, and the Waiōhua people. She gave birth to Tūpāho's son, named Korokino, whose umbilical cord was buried with the sprig of a tōtara, which became the tōtara that was cut down and later replaced with a California pine atop One Tree Hill. And Korokino is the father of Toa Rangatira, and Tūpāho would return to the south of Kāwhia, and there at Kiritehere, he had another family with a woman of Ngāti Haumia, namely Rārua. And this whakapapa links me to the very old Ngāti Awa of the far north. And Mr. Speaker, it's no wonder people wanted to get to know the Chief Maki, because, sir, I'm definitely no gun speaker of Te Reo Māori like my colleague Shane, but I would like to give my translation of Tamaki Makaurau. Tā Maki, belonging to Maki, and Makaurau, desired by many. So the land that belonged to Maki was desired by many. And who wouldn't have been desirous? Picture the scene, sir, of a young Māori warrior on a brief trip to the much heard about Tamaki Makaurau. How could a visiting warrior from down in Pōneke not be impressed as he foiled his twin-hulled waka into Kohimarama, rangitoto in silhouette with the sun rising over the horizon? It's what we call a melting Māori moment. And Mr. Speaker, I'll guarantee you that Māori boy from Pōneke will be looking for the highest chief in the pā with the most beautiful and yet tempestuous daughter. Because in years to come, sir, there will be some whanaunga down around the pā, back in Pōneke, that will ask, hey, whatever happened to Tama boy? And didn't you hear would be the reply? He went up to Tamaki a few years back and cracked it. Got a beautiful missus, a whare with plenty of land, 2 fishing boats, and her old man's got a box at Eden Park. There are plenty of stories like that within the history of the Isthmus, sir. And such was the desirability of Tamaki Makaurau to all our warriors, our Māori warriors of old. And like many people since that time of Maki, and probably before his time as well, its desirable location of fertile soils and its birds and fish, and for its picture postcard beauty made visitors envious. And that's the problem, sir, of Auckland even today. It is too desirous. $800,000 houses. No one can afford to live there. All the land is still in the council hands. Lands, dare I remind this House, that once was under the mana of these 13 iwi and hapu who make up this collective. And so, sir, I'd like to acknowledge all of the work of the Tamaki Collective and the officials who have worked over many years to bring this portion of the settlement to a conclusion. I look forward to contributing within the Māori Affairs Select Committee and as we tautoko the passage of this bill through the House. I commend this bill. Kia ora tātou.
Te ura o Flavel.